Two extremely different point of view of retirement that I often hear from my clients. I want to retire by 50 or 55 so that I can travel around the whole world. Or I want to work all the way because I think retirement in Singapore is really hard, it's unachievable. So these two drastic differences in point of view, what is accurate or maybe a more realistic expectation of retirement in Singapore? If you're wondering, keep watching. The problem that most people unexpectedly face is that they underestimate the actual amount they need for retirement. According to the survey by OCBC, those that are actually on track on their retirement, they actually estimate their monthly expenses more accurately. Right, you can see on the survey right here, but they are nearer to what it actually really costs. On the reverse, for those that are actually not on track with their retirement plans, they're actually halfway short of what it actually requires. So that shows the difference for those that are actually planning and those that are not. And this is a position that I don't think you want to be in. Next, a survey done by Ethical Insurance, this was held in 2022. It shows that the top 3 activities that Singaporeans prefer upon retirement is number 1, travel, that's 73%. Second, they spend time with family, 70%. And third one is to pick up a new hobby, that is around 57%. And on the next slide, it shows that what really matters after retirement for Singaporeans. At the top placing is being financially independent, which holds 84%. And of course, it follows by the rest, you can see right here. Just additional bonus, if you realize, seeking emotional and social support, the percentages decrease as you age. Now, I have 3 lifestyle choices right here, A, B, and C. I want to choose which lifestyle do you prefer. Have you made an answer? Let me review to you how much these lifestyle cost individually. So this is a survey done by OCBC, and they actually do this on an annual basis. It's a financial wellness index. And of course, this is the price that they have derived to sustain lifestyle A, B, and C. And of course, this is based on today's value. They have showed statistics from 2020 to 2023. They have been increasing year on year. And also, you can see that right beside it, it shows the difference in percentage of the population in Singapore. What lifestyle do they prefer? You can see on the latest 2023 update, 35% choose lifestyle A, 41% choose lifestyle B, and a good 24% actually choose the final one, lifestyle C, a more luxurious and more premium lifestyle. So if you look at the numbers right here, from 2020 to 2023 today, from each lifestyle, be it A, B, or C, let's say for C example, you have rose from 5,200 that's required till today, which is $6,020. In 4 years, you have rose this amount. So how much does that mean in percentages? I've done the math for you. It shows that that is approximately a 3.73% rise per annum. That is for lifestyle C. And for B and A, B is 3.71% per annum and A is 3.75% per annum. So this is how much I've risen for just a 4 years duration. So let's apply the same math to us today. So let's assuming you are in the same age as myself, right, around age 30, and we project the number forward. Of course, when you retire, I leave it to you. I've done the math. If you want to retire at 50, 60, or the statutory retirement age of 65, or retirement A, B, and C, this is how the numbers will look like. Assuming inflation is around 3%. You can Google through Trading Economics. They give an average from 1974 all the way to today around 2.6%, and the latest 224 numbers is 3.5. So if I do the in-between, 3% will be a safe estimate. So I only apply a 3% inflation to the numbers. With that being said, did your answer change or is it still remaining? Hold that thought first. We can't just stop there because you need to know exactly how to get there. Assuming you are the same as the majority who choose lifestyle B, with today's value, you only need 3,355. And you choose, let's say, okay, 50, 65, you're in the middle, right? You're gonna retire at 60. Let's project forward, 3,355. At 60, you will require 8,143.47. And take note, this number will still rise as you age further. So 8,143.47 on an annual basis is 97,721.64 to be exact. And at 60, you need approximately 3.6 million in lump sum so that you can sustain this same lifestyle for the next 25 years because it's 60 to 85. So that is a big sum, and if you divide it, backtrack it by 30 years, then divide by 12. If purely by savings, you need to save 10 grand a month. Assuming things grow at 0% and you really do brute savings, you need to save 10 grand a month. That's insane. Like some of us don't even earn 10 grand a month. But of course, if you're putting at a fixed income instrument at 3%, you need to save approximately 6.1 grand a month. And of course, if you do investments, these are assumptions. If you get a consistent return of approximately 8%, you'll need to set aside approximately 2.4 grand a month. Is this slightly better? Maybe. With these numbers, is retirement really achievable, and are our expectations in line? Don't worry, I got that covered for you. I have some suggestions that may assist you guys in achieving retirement, because we all want to have some hope and be able to achieve that, right? So I've derived 5 possible scenarios that you may be able to achieve them. The first one, of course, we have CPF. CPF pays you out at 65 onwards, and depending on which you achieve, either your BRS, your FRS, or your ERS, you can get a basic foundational payout every single month, right? If it's BRS, you get approximately 840 to 900 a month. If it's FRS, you get around 1.5 to 1.6 a month. And for ERS, you get around 2.2 to 2.4 a month. But of course, I think you guys heard the latest budget. The ERS will be bumped up by 4 times and all that. Then the estimated per month payout for ERS will be around 3.3 thousand. Take note that these numbers may also rise in the future. That means that, of course, there's a higher criteria to hit, but which also means that your payout may be more than it is today. So that's something that we can take note of. But of course, the shortcoming of CPF is that this only starts at 65. If you want to retire earlier, there's this void that is not accounted for, because all this only comes after 65. And also, there's no flexibility, because they pay you on a systematic basis every single month. If you want some excess to withdraw some lump sum for some big purchases, you want to spoil yourself a little bit and all that, if you just hit the bare minimum, then you can't actually do that. And last but not least is for CPF, it doesn't account for the rise in inflation costs, right? It's a leveled fixed payout. I think, like I mentioned in the previous video, CPF is meant to only achieve the basic necessities of lifestyle. Point number 2 is from now till 60, you have approximately 30 years. We can actually take the opportunity, really leverage more on investments, so they can grow your net worth, they can grow your savings, can grow your portfolio bigger, thicker, and of course more sustainable should you retire. It can be in stocks, it can be properties, it can be anything that appreciate in value in numbers. I think today's society, most people are more well versed in that, so I'm not too worried about that. But you want to make sure you do your own due diligence before you take any step, and you want to make sure those goes well and you follow through your strategies. Of course, there are some shortcomings in that. Of course, the risk. Some may argue that S&P 500 have been consistent, 30 years history, 10+%. Okay, sure. But of course, we cannot ignore the fact that there may be risk involved in other things, because, for example, emotions, a bit more greedy, sometimes hearsay from friends, you get temptations to get you something that deviated from what you wanted. So investments is all sexy and nice, but there are a lot of factors and considerations that may affect one person's investments. Like Warren Buffett mentioned, investment is simple but not easy. If it's that straightforward, everybody would be rich and secure. But because there are other factors that contribute to the downfall, thus what I meant by risk, which I covered in my previous video. Take a look at that. Point number 3, you can consider an annuity plan or even a dividend paying portfolio. Across Singapore insurance industries, or sometimes the banks, they may offer annuity products that pays you a fixed amount monthly income. So that also stacks upon your CPF also. For those that prefer dividends, that also can give you extra. Depends on how often the dividends pay out. It can be on a monthly basis, quarterly, half-yearly basis also possible. That depends on what you invest in. So for dividends, right, let's assume an estimated payout of 7%. Let's assume you want extra 2,000 a month. That converts to 24 grand a year. You need to have a 350k investment portfolio that pays a dividend of 7% per annum. That will help you achieve your 2 grand every single month. But of course, one of the shortcomings of dividends is that dividend paying out may be guaranteed, but the rates are not. It can pay out more, it can pay out lesser. So that means the amount of income you're receiving fluctuates. And point number 2, companies may change the direction. For example, if they suddenly want to actually have more growth in the company, and they decided not to declare dividends because they want to reinvest the money to grow the company, then of course you may not have that dividend cash flow anymore. That's the potential risk. Point number 4 is you have a rental income. For those that have a second property, if you have a fully paid property, the average rental yield can be approximately 3.5%. I think it's quite conservative. Let's assume it's a 1 mil property and you fully paid and it gives you 3.5% rental yield. On a monthly basis, you'll be getting out 3.5k plus that property have capital appreciation also. So that's additional cash flow for you should you choose to sell it after that. So that's also one more thing that can aid you in achieving your ideal lifestyle in retirement. But one of the shortcomings of rental yield is that if you want the full maximize rental yield, then you want to rent out the entire place. That means you need to have a second home. Because the home you're staying in, it doesn't drive you income unless you rent out a room and all that. And secondly is there's tax. It's taxable on your rental income. That is one thing you take note of. Whether you are staying with the tenant or not, that tax changes also. But of course, that's a topic for also another day. But these are ways to help you achieve retirement. And last but not least, point number 5 is you may have the choice to actually downgrade your property. I think this is actually a pretty common thing that I hear from my clients or even the elderly I speak to. They want to actually downgrade their property so that they can free up the cash flow, aid or even enhance their retirement lifestyle possible. Because sometimes when you are at the dragon era, like you really rise and having kids and all that, a big house will actually be the common that we'll go for, like 4 bedroom, 5 bedroom sometimes, and sometimes go for condo. But sometimes when they are older, they may think that, hey, actually I don't need this big of a house because my kids have moved out, they just left me and my partner, but they choose to downgrade. So it's pretty common actually that if you downgrade your property, you can free up the locked asset or the locked finances in the property itself. You free up the cash flow and it aids your retirement also. And the high chance is if you actually downgrade it in the same area, high chance is you will be able to full pay the house. Of course, what are the shortcomings? As I mentioned, if the same area, maybe. But if you change, let's say you stay, let's say at Simei, then you want to change to maybe like Pinnacle Duxton, at Tanjong Pagar, then of course you cannot full pay, You're restricted to the area to kind of maintain that financial healthiness. If you want to do a change location, you can, of course you can, but you gotta top up through cash or whatever means you have. And of course, the second potential risk is you downgraded, so there's a smaller space. It's quite inconvenient for you, it's uncomfortable, you're not used to it. You gotta get used to that. So these are the 5 possible solutions. You can stack on one another, or maybe one is enough, right? You got bloody good rental property or a dividend paying portfolio that really pays you really well. Okay, that works. Or you can, stack upon each other to achieve your ideal retirement lifestyle. So I hope this video actually helps you to have understanding of what kind of lifestyle expectation I should have upon retirement, and also what are the potential ways that can achieve them. So I hope this is helpful for you, and I will see you in the next video. Peace!